Alright, welcome to Physics 201 online now. So this is the first part of the momentum, energy, and collisions experiment. We have three types of collisions that we're going to be testing. Elastic, where kinetic energy is conserved, as you can read here. Inelastic, where some kinetic energy is lost, and a completely inelastic, where most of the kinetic energy is lost and they stick together. So we're going to do a test run on this experiment here. So I'm going to pan over here to our setup. We have photo gates, 2 carts. So the cart on your right is going to be cart 1 and the cart on your left will be cart 2. So let's do a trial run here if we can do that. And we will be collecting the initial and final velocity of both carts. So let's go ahead and try this out. Okay, so that was an example of an elastic collision. Now if we noticed that the first cart was stationary initially, so the first cart's initial velocity will be 0. The second cart seemed to stop very quickly, so we can assume, roughly minus friction, that the second cart's final velocity will be 0. So what we would predict would be that the initial velocity of the first cart and the final velocity of the second cart should be similar, because they have a similar mass, therefore their momentum should be similar, at least close. So that is what we have. So we'll show you the data here on the computer. Now these numbers, the 0.1270 meters, that's the length of the index cards as you saw. So we use the length of the index cards divided by the gate time. The gate time is the time it takes one cart to enter and leave each gate. Therefore, distance over time should calculate your velocity. And we inputted these numbers here, and we notice, as predicted, we have initial velocity and final velocity that are similar. But we notice the final velocity of cart 2 is slightly lower than the initial velocity of cart 1, and that is due to friction. So there's a slight energy loss. So there's elastic collisions are not completely elastic. They're close to being elastic, and we assume that. So that is the first part of this experiment. So we will look at the second part of the experiment next.